Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to our Success Stories channel. Welcome to our game of High Flyers. And today we have with us Mr. Zuber Ahmed. So before I put my gun to Zuber, let me give you a quick introduction about Zuber. So Zuber, basically, he's coming from the background. He has done a BCom, then he has done an MBA. He's having total 8 years of experience. When he came to us, he was having somewhere around 7.5 or 7 years of experience. Last year, we started with him. So with his 8 years of experience, he started his experience as a end user, as a buyer. He was working with the SRM. He was working into the ECC modules. Then he got himself trained, and then he worked as a MM support consultant for some years. And then with one of the very big consulting companies, last 3 years, he was working as a Ariba consultant, but in the support side.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
So when he came to us, he tell us a story that, okay, he has worked some part on MM. He has worked something on Ariba, but neither he has a full-fledged knowledge of SAP MM module, and he does not know S/4HANA. Ariba also, whatever the training he got internally from the organization on a specific module, that what his exposure is. So he want to increase his bandwidth when he's looking for the job change. He want to make sure that he know end-to-end of the Ariba, and he also have a very good hand on the sourcing and procurement, because he understood. And I also always mention in all of my videos and all of the MM consultants to go for MM plus Ariba or to go for MM plus EWM. That's where basically you'll be getting maximum opportunities. So he come up with that target. He got trained with us on Ariba. Then he got trained with us on SAP MM Mastery. And then he has also completed the Job Hunt Mastery course with us. So with this, all the efforts which he has put it, few months back, he has switched and he got 100% increment, 100% rise. And he has recently joined Capgemini. So that is the brief story. That's a brief success story, a summary of Mr. Zuber. So with that quick introduction, I would be welcoming Zuber. Zuber, welcome to the game of High Flyers.
Yeah, good morning, sir, and thank you for providing this opportunity to motivate others. So, good morning to all of you who are watching this video, and let's get started.
Thank you, Zubair. So Zubair, I have quickly summarized that what is your success story, but people would love if you can tell your success story in your words, that from where you started, what kind of a struggle points was there, what kind of key things you worked, which made the success of a job switch which you have recently done.
Yes, I started my career as an end user and super user. Wherein it is kind of a support role. Sorry. So wherein I have to clear the errors that comes between ECC and SRM. So I worked there, and I was also a buyer and approving the cards and doing audits and everything. So it was kind of a boost to grow further. I had a kind of exposure with the ECC and SRM a lot. Then I took trainings to become MM consultant. So anyhow, I managed to get a job. So into support, MM support, and I worked there. And but still the salary was kind of a low. So when compared to the other modules and to the other colleagues I had. So later I jumped to other organization. They asked me, they'll train me on Ariba. So I got training on only few models, and they kept me into AMC, that is support, and I worked there for around 3 years. So what has happened is the the lockdown has started. So at that time, I started again upskilling myself. So I started working on MM. So I reached out to you. I found few of the videos and few of the materials. over LinkedIn, and I found that that was very much professional and very much in detail. So that is the reason I reached out to you, and we had a conversation initially. So
Mm.
then you suggested me to go for the more upskilling to the advanced level, kind of. So I took Mastery along with S4 HANA. So I took the videos and I started brushing myself. And later I found out that you were starting Ariba batches as well. So later I started again learning Ariba. I enrolled myself into Ariba and to learn other modules as well, like BNI, buying and invoicing for the downstream part, and for the upstream part, sourcing, contracts, and the supply life cycle performance. So for the if we could speak about the upstream and downstream. So for the upstream, SLP is the very useful module actually. So most of them tend to use SLP with the downstream. So you need to have clear understanding of the upstream and downstream, so that you can secure a job. However, uh, learning only Ariba will not you will not sustain for a long time actually if you are learning only Ariba. So if you have experience or S4 HANA SNP experience, that will help you a lot to strong your goals and to reach your goals in a long term. So most of the around 2-3 years ago, 3 years, 4 years ago, so they were hiring Ariba consultants if they have some kind of a basic knowledge. Now the trend has changed. They are looking for Ariba as well as So if you get a job into Ariba, definitely you'll be having client rounds as well. So in the client rounds, they'll ask about S4 HANA SNP or SAP definitely. So learning only Ariba will not sustain for a long time. So you need to learn SAP as well as Ariba. So you need to understand the functionality between SAP and the SAP Ariba, because SAP Ariba is only a SaaS solution wherein it provides service, okay, and SAP is an ERP tool. So you need to know the difference between the SAP Ariba and the SAP ERP. So so if your client is using SAP ERP along with SAP Ariba, so you need to know the functionality and the flow of the data from where it is transferring and from where to where it is going. So uh, I would recommend everyone to start from the SAP then switch to the Ariba. So that you'll be strong enough to sustain for a long time.
That's very good points of where you have made. I have always tell the people that, go for one core module and then go for one of the advanced modules. So core module, I put SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement, aka SAP and then the advanced module is can be the Ariba or it can be the EWM. Even you will go to SAP if you ask the SAP that what is the digital solution for sourcing and procurement to completely fully digitalize your sourcing and procurement. SAP has Ariba plus SAP S4 HANA. That's where basically we have so many students coming from the Ariba, even coming from the SAP itself. SAP is also their employees. They are pushing it that make sure that all the Ariba people also know the SAP S4 HANA, and all the SAP S/4HANA people also know the Ariba. That's where you would be developing an end-to-end consultants knowing the both of the technology. So we have a lot of demand for people learning Ariba and Ariba people learning MM. So I always suggest for go for the
Yes,
both of the
as well
modules.
as
When
SRM.
you go with the both of the modules, that give you, a lot of wider range that you can work on the core modules for a consulting company. If Ariba comes, you can also work on Ariba. And once you get trained on Ariba, it also opens a lot of channels. Right now, Coupa is coming it up. In one of my previous company, when we
Yes.
got a bid for when we won for the Coupa, what we did, we were not having a Coupa resources, but we know that the Coupa and Ariba is very similar. So we picked all of the Ariba resources, we trained them on Coupa, and then they are working now on Coupa. Right. So that would be opening the wider door. So that's very good point you brought, that now combination of Ariba plus makes a lot of difference.
Yes, yes. And people who are working on SRM, mostly they have changed, or they've changed themselves. They transited from SRM to Ariba. So even SRM consultants feel very comfortable changing from SRM to Ariba. So that is also a good point. If you are an SRM consultant, then there is a good exposure for you to become Ariba consultant.
Right, right. Very true, very true. So my next question, and which a lot of people wants to also hear, what kind of interview question has been asked in Ariba?
So it depends actually. So what all you are mentioning on your resume. So it depends mostly. 99% of the interviews goes around your resume, as you already mentioned in your job and mastery. So uh, it- preparing your CV is a huge task and challenge. So what all you know, you need to mention on the CV. What all you doesn't know, you need to gain some knowledge on those topics as well. So you have clearly mentioned on job hunt mastery. So it is very kind of a easy but task for everyone to go and learn those topics, so that one can hunt the job very easily. So preparing your resume is a very a huge task, as I said. So what all you have mentioned, if you have mentioned upstream, so for the upstream, it comes like sourcing, contracts, SLP. So in that they'll ask, and if you have mentioned kind of a downstream as well, they'll go to P2P, they'll ask P2P questions as well. So if I go by module for the upstream sourcing part, mostly they'll ask for the templates, sourcing templates. So what all changes we have done, if you have done any kind of enhancements, if you have prepared kind of templates, so what kind of templates you have prepared. So have you ever worked on auctions, or have you built any auction templates? And so have you ever worked on conditions? So why conditions are being used? And if we go to SLP, the supplier lifecycle and performance, so they'll ask for questionnaires. So what all, how questionnaires can be changed, and what is the registration process of the Ariba, and so what is Ariba network? They'll ask, and they'll ask, so supplier enablement process. So that is a very important question. That is supplier enablement process, wherein most of the interviews they tend to ask supplier enablement process as well as Ariba net.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
And if you are going to the P2P side, they'll ask for the mass data loads, what all kind of loads we do during implementation, and what is tax manager. And so these kind of questions they'll ask, and definitely they'll ask for SAP MM questions as well. So what is the SAP MM P2P cycle? They'll ask for subcontracting if it is a SSC module, SEC module, and so they'll ask for the scheduling agreements. So these areas you need to focus on, and so you need to well versed with the quota arrangements as well, because once the contracts get generated, if they are using ERP, the data flows there, and so you need to have these understandings actually. So where from, if, as per your client, where the data is migrating to SAP and again coming back to going to the SAP Ariba and going back to the SAP ECC. So you need to have clear understanding the process flow uh, of the P2P cycle.
Okay. That's good. That's good. That would be helping a lot of people who are preparing for the Ariba interviews. You have exactly given the kind of question which has been asked, so that would be helping a lot of people. So you also completed the Job and Mastery. You already highlighted that Job and Mastery helped you for preparing your CV, right? So what kind of other help
Yes,
you find from the Job and Mastery? And once you prepare the CV, as I mentioned in the Job and Mastery training, did you find a
mind
significant
maps.
difference in the interview calls?
Yes, a lot. Mind maps.
Mind maps.
No one has provided till now. I think so because I have not seen anywhere. Might be some other organizations or institutes are using it. I don't know, but I have seen your mind maps. They were very crystal clear. Whenever you are having interview, you just need to refer the mind maps. Those are excellent. Those are excellent.
Thank you. Thank
Those
you.
are very short term knowledgeable things you can refer.
Mhm. Okay, that's good. That's good. And I have also, focused a lot, and I'm telling the people, okay, I'm sharing my notes through the mind maps, through the sketching, and I'm using multiple things. And I always push, if you have gone to the Job and Mastery, also push people to create their own notes. So have you gone through the habit of creating your notes or system hands-on, whether that makes a difference when you're preparing?
Absolutely, absolutely. So even he have written kind of a points here, uh, the table. So preparing notes is a major thing wherein so the beginners who learn SAP or other modules or someone who is taking courses, they'll not prepare notes. They'll be in an impression that they will be having a video recording with them. So it will not help. Literally, it will not help. Trust me. And make a list of topics, all the topics. Even though you have the topic format in your system, even though make a notes and prepare all the topics and make the list of topics, all the topics, and try to get some information over the Google what this topic is belongs to. And so if you can enroll yourself in a instructor led training, live training, I would say that will make a lot of difference because even I started learning from a long time, but I tend to postpone the things since I had recordings with me. So if you have a live training batch, you'll make yourself go for the live training instead of taking videos and going by the self preparing thing. So it is kind of a next step wherein if you are going for the taking videos and learning on yourself, but for the first foremost thing, if you need motivation and you need to be present on every class, just enroll yourself in the live training. That will make a difference, lot of difference. And practice. 95% of the people will not practice on the same day. Try to practice on the same day. Anyhow, you are keeping your efforts, a lot of efforts, putting your efforts, putting your mind, sorry, mental stress, but just at least take some time for the practice because without practice, you'll not remember anything. Practice is the best thing. Even any of the instructors, they'll say practice well, practice well. Even any of the Ariba consultant, you go and reach out to them, they'll say the foremost thing, practice well. Practice is the only thing you can secure a job very easily, and you'll get to know the things, and you'll get to know more errors, and you tend to resolve them. You'll Google search. So it is kind of a self-learning practice for you. So practice is the major thing you need to do it. So so there will be kind of a demand for niche skills. So that is the advanced skills that we have spoken earlier. So if you know and you would like to uh, get a good salary hike, then go for new courses like EWM or Ariba or TM kind of different modules there are. So you can go by. You have PM as well, I think so, for
Yeah.
MM people. There are lots of opportunities for MM people. So you need to just put in some efforts for some months, few months. You'll secure your job and you get a good hike as well.
Yeah, that's a very valuable points from Zubair. I will summarize what he has said. System hands-on is very important. Do practice on the system. Create your own notes. Creating your own notes is also very important. And then making sure that the topics, if you want to explore more, do the Google search of it. Let let do more search. Try to have a more research on the topic, and then create your own notes. That would be helping you a lot. Don't depend on the videos. If you say that, okay, video is there, I will do it later, I will go through it later, that never happens, believe me. A lot of people ask me that, Parminder, why you are giving a video access to us only for a year? That is the basic reason. You go to Udemy, you go to the other places, they give you the lifetime access. That is a problem with that. Once you have a lifetime access, you always think, okay, our video is there, someday I will go through. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years will go, you will never go through. You will be having a hard disk full of 500 GB of videos coming from here, there, LinkedIn, everywhere. People are sharing so many things that would be just sitting in your hard disk. It will not go in your mind. So it's very important that you have a time frame, you have a time bounded limits. If you have a time frame, time bounded limit, then only it makes you to learn. Otherwise, I give you the lifetime videos, it will be sitting with you somewhere, and believe me, you will not be opening it. Okay, so that's very important. Another thing Zubair highlighted is instructor-led training. So I always tell people, when you are learning, you need to be high in motivation. Okay, you need to be high in energy. And my all things, all the full content is available in the self-paced also, and the instructor led also. I recommend people to go for instructor led, because that create a discipline that on a specific hours you need to come, you need to sit, you need to listen, you need to create your notes. And then we will be also pushing, asking, have you completed the assignment, what things you have done, you got stuck. So you will be getting a continuous motivation. And we have started one more thing to make you more motivated, the Monday morning session, Step Up Circle. So I do a session every Monday morning for all of the Sastrageek students, to bring them on a live platform and to make sure that they are learning something. That would be some generic topic. We'll be picking it up and sharing the knowledge. Next Monday, I think I'm covering overview of APIs. Okay, how APIs would be used to connect the different systems. So that's where we make sure that you are in high in motivations and you are high in energy. So that's what Zubair has highlighted. Zubair, you have put it a very good points, which will be helping a lot of listeners. One of the last question, there are a lot of people who are working as in the operations, they are working as a buyer, they are working as a strategic buyer, procurement manager. So that's the operation job, right? What would be your suggestion to them, that if they want to start and they also want to come into the technology to become a consultant, what would be your suggestion, that what steps they need to take it to start their journey?
So I would say need need is the basic thing. If
Mm.
they are in need, definitely they'll come out of the comfort zone and they'll work hard. And the other thing is, if they are kind of a buyers, then they'll have a very good knowledge, irrespective of what ERP they use, because most of the ERPs, if you go by, so there will be same kind of a business operations and the process flow they'll have, but they need to be more focused, because it is kind of a challenge for them to come out of the comfort zone and start buckle up the shoes. So start start from anywhere, kind of MM, take MM course first, then go to the advanced Ariba, so that you'll get to understand the difference between the procurement processes actually. So they are multiple procurement processes. So if you directly go to Ariba, you'll not understand much, I would say. So if you have Ariba exposure, then it is quite easy for you to secure a job. However, in the long run, as I said, so MM is must. So take MM or S4 HANA. I would say S4 HANA sourcing and procurement. So since everyone is migrating to S4 HANA, in few years, maybe in a year or ago, so everyone will start asking for the S4 HANA, and so that will again come as a fall under a basic category for S4 HANA. So anyhow, you are putting your efforts, then go for S4 HANA, sourcing and procurement, and then to Ariba. So step by step. So not as a whole. So I would say sail on a single boat at a time.
Right, right. So Zubair has
That-
mentioned very good point. Come out of your comfort zone. That is one thing you need to do. Believe me, I did it around 15 years or 18 years ago. Still, I was having a discussion and couple of calls I'm having with the company which I was working 18 years ago. People are working in operations and they are just thinking, okay, we'll do it this year, we'll do it next year or next year. So if you want to grow and if you want to grow rapidly, it's very important that you will have to come out from your comfort zone. So this journey, I don't put that false things in front of it. I always tell all of my students, this journey would be a tough journey, switch journey. When you are switching from operations to the IT side, this would be a tough journey. It would not be easy journey. You should be ready to put a lot of efforts. Zubair is sitting it here. He's sitting it here because he has put a hell lot of efforts. He has learned 2 modules and he has given a very clear path to you. First, do SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement, and then do Ariba. It looks like a 2 steps, right? But these 2 steps would be required a lot of efforts. So be ready to put efforts and come out of your comfort zone. The kind of salaries, the kind of job opportunities, the kind of job environment, the kind of challenging roles, jobs, and the interesting part you will be getting into the consulting side that can never beat with the operations, right? And the salaries also, which you will see, compare the operations versus IT or consulting side, you will see the huge difference. So you can go there, but come out of your comfort zone and put a lot of efforts. The path has been given by Zubair. If you follow, I also suggest the same path. Okay, if you follow, definitely success will come to you.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
So that's a very good point, Zubair, which you have brought up. I am really happy we have done this success story. I hope that this would be helping a lot of buyer working in the procurement side to define their path and how they need to prepare. And it also would be giving a lot of motivation that Zubair has done step by step. They can also do it. So thank you for coming for this episode.
Thank you, Parminder, and I'm glad that you have provided me this opportunity to motivate others. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So thank you all the listener. We will be coming back with the next story, with the next episode very soon. Stay tuned. Have a good health. Bye-bye.